There's no use pretending otherwise. As a nation, we are deeply divided, sometimes even within a single household. And at no time is this truer than during spring training when hordes of baseball-loving Long Island families face an impossible dilemma. Do they visit the Yankees in Tampa or the Mets in Port St. Lucie? In an effort to bring the parties together, Newsday consulted with experts on both sides of the aisle, ultimately determining that the only solution to this eternal vacation conundrum is to visit both. This season, the Yanks are gunning for a return trip to the World Series, albeit with a different result, and that long march to October starts in Florida's third largest city, a town full of fantastic eating, outdoor fun, history, and a disturbing number of chickens.
They're protected, but I'm not.
All of which you'll need to visit after checking into your hotel and heading to Steinbrenner Field, while hopefully avoiding Tampa's notorious traffic.
Steinbrenner Field happens to be located about a mile from Tampa International, and there's plenty of hotel options. That's always my recommendation.
As you might expect from a ballpark that's a fourth of the size of Yankee Stadium, there's a far more relaxed, intimate vibe to Steinbrenner.
You know, generally, it's a little bit more low-key in spring training, and players, again, generally speaking, are pretty willing to sign autographs.
And where can you get those?
The best places that I've seen fans get autographs over the years. On the main field here, you just go down by the fences near the dugouts.
Okay, you've seen a game, gotten an autograph, now what?
There's a lot to do down here besides going to spring training.
Like dinner at Columbia, the oldest restaurant in all of Florida. A Spanish-Cuban eatery with a pollo manchego is tremendous. The devil crab croquettes are legendary. There's flamenco dancing every night. And the dining rooms are stately as they are historic. Indeed, the same is true of Columbia's entire neighborhood, really, Ybor City. Once the cigar-making capital of the world and now home to vintage streetcars that are free to ride, and some of Tampa's greatest nightlife, let's see, there's a historic bakery that's known for its cafe con leche, guava cheese, turnovers, and probably the greatest Cuban sandwich you've ever tasted.
Absolutely delicious.
Along with those chickens that are protected by law, although sometimes you may wish you were protected from them. What else? A little hole in the wall that's a shrine to Tampa's favorite fish, where you'll flip over the blackened grouper sandwiches and fried grouper cheeks.
There's nothing like a whole mess of fried grouper cheeks.
And the best way to explore the city's sights, sounds, and skyline is by boat. No license required. That said, you'll need a car to get to Mets Land, a 3-hour journey across the state that takes you past vast cattle ranches and orange groves on your way to Port St. Lucie and Clover Park.
April through September, you go to Citi Field, you sit in a big stadium, itty-bitty ants you can see on the field playing baseball, and it's fun, but this is way different.
And autographs?
Probably on what is called the backfields. Way back there where they practice in the morning, and that's when you're closest physically to the players, and you can reach something over the fence.
But Port St. Lucie is small enough to where you could easily run into a Met off the field.
One go-to spot is Tutto Fresco, very popular, long-time Italian spot, right down the road from the ballpark.
And though Port St. Lucie is growing by leaps and bounds, it still retains a small-town, old Florida feel. Something you'll see in the area's hotels and dockside bars. It's reflected in the friendliness of the locals, the abundance of wildlife, and perhaps most spectacularly, the mangrove tunnels in nearby Fort Pierce, where you might be the only one kayaking on the water. Visit Florida this spring, and you'll probably find yourself loving both East and West. Motorboat and paddleboat, no frills and fancy, Tim and Eric. Maybe there's a lesson in all this. Maybe we're all just a little bit Yankee and a little bit Met. Okay, that might be pushing it.